Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Everyday Growth Advisors live stream. I hope you're having a great morning. What a week. Another epic run on this bull run, which has continued from last week into this week. It's pretty much been a melt up at this point. I want to cover a couple of things that might be of importance and just kind of brief you guys on what I am watching out for. Opportunities in the market, which are still pretty abundant. it's going to be very difficult here on out to chase alpha. If you are just entering the markets at this point, you really don't want to be buying US equities at this point, especially a select hand few which are overvalued at this point. And the continuation of dump for SPACs and high risk names, which are high beta stocks, growth companies, continue to find problems with catching any bids. And this is going to be a theme for a little while more, as we see a market which is looking for alpha in places where strong balance sheets occur and companies that are just very, very suited for this environment. As we reopen, pent-up demand kicks in, and the market starts to price in all sorts of events after this this earnings season. So this earnings season has been definitely a little anticipated. Markets fully priced in a positive beat at this point. Banks with a very surprising beat this past week. Majority of the banks did pretty well. I want to say JP Morgan did okay. A little worse than expected in terms of guidance and forecast, but still pretty good. Wells Fargo Chase did pretty good as well. Morgan Stanley today reported earnings pretty good. Goldman Sachs blew their earnings out of the water. So that is usually a good sign of what's to come. Financials usually lead the pack and will usually set the stage for the president for the earnings season. Also, let's have a look at the news real quick and see if there's anything on here that may be of interest to us. Remember, we don't look at the news for anything else except for entertainment purpose. Let's see. SoftBank Infusion, okay. Galaxy Digital, Bitcoin payments to be banned in Turkey. I think crypto's got hit a little bit on the news of Turkey banning crypto. Let's see. Bitcoin is down about 3% on the news. Just another... I mean, if you're a long-term crypto bull, this is a great buying opportunity once again. Shouldn't really bother you if you are, a crypto bull. Stock future steady ahead of S&P 500 hitting records. S&P 500 in a new record territory as we hit the all-time highs here. If we look at the futures, looking extremely brightly green this morning, pushing further up here. And I want to also put your attention to the seasonality chart, which has been pretty on point so far. With the S&P 500 index, once again, pull your attention to the seasonality of the S&P 500 for the past 30 years or so. We have seen, April and May be pretty good months for the S&P 500. And then things tend to kind of move sideways during the months of June, July, August, followed by the end of the year rally from September onwards. So we're having a period of, pricing in of the Q1 earnings, and then followed by Q2, which will usually be a bit underperformed, and then Q3, Q4, looking at a few bright spots as well. This is the seasonality. So far, we've been on point. March was a little dip, right? And then now we're seeing April with a strong rally up. Usually this rally, sees the market expand by about 2 to 3%. And I think, if we look at where the S&P 500 was comparatively to where we are right now, from this all-time high right here, we're looking at so far a 4 to 5% gain on the S&P 500 already. Obviously this can continue higher. Absolutely can continue higher. How much higher? Let's have a look. I kind of drew a Fibonacci extension here to kind of forecast that. The 61.8 Fibonacci extension seems to be the extension that we will probably be looking at. I took this swing low to this swing high right here. So we're looking at these 2 points right here. This is your swing low, and this is a swing high right here as my 2 points for the extension right here. So we're going from the bottom to the top. And that leaves us with a couple of targets, which we've already secured the 23.6. We're breaking out at 38.2. This means that we are going to ultimately end up at the 61.8 at 4229 or 4230. This seems to be the level at which the S&P 500 may find some resistance. to the upside. Therefore, expect another melt up, possibly another melt up coming in the next few weeks as earnings start to get reported. Next week, I believe we have a few major companies already reporting earnings. And then the whole remaining of the month, we'll be having a lot of big conviction names reporting their earnings. Okay. Great. Also, I want to talk about Coinbase IPO real quick because I think a lot of people have been DMing me on Instagram. A lot of people have been asking me about it. What are my opinions on it? I typically do not trade IPOs because IPOs are meant for insider trading. People who do the valuations for these businesses usually make the most money out of them. Therefore, I stick out of IPOs. I wait for the price to stabilize, and then usually I enter once the business has a sound reason for me to enter. Now, as a momentum trade or yada yada, I don't really speculate on these kinds of companies. However, I am exposed to Coinbase through the ARK fund, which I have investments in. So therefore, I do have exposure to Coinbase, but it's through the ARK fund, which Kathy has been buying on my behalf. So thank you, Kathy, for giving me that exposure. Not really, but we'll see. We'll see if it's a positive thing. Apple has been really struggling to break out the 135 level here. We also have a Apple event coming up in 4 days on the April 20th. It's our spring event, which may act as a catalyst. We do not know if it will, but this is a huge run up on Apple. We had a pullback, and now we're continuing to the upside. Hopefully, we will find some resistance up here at the 138s or the 137s, where a next round of booby traps are going to be placed. So that's the level of Apple which you want to be careful about. Another ticker that I'm watching for today, and a bunch of others that we will be watching today, is DoorDash. DoorDash with a really nice ascending pennant, which has been having lots of volume come in the past few days. Big institutional buying over here, spiking, and looking like it's setting up to spike to the upside if it can break out. How I would play this one is by waiting for the breakout out of the 156 level, right? Oh, wrong thickness there. Out of the 156 level here. And then we want to see a pullback retest of this zone as a support out of this resistance to the upside. So that's how I would play this. So DoorDash, pretty good prospect here. We'll see if we can continue on. Other things that I'm watching for breakouts, Datadog is another one. Really, really nice ascending formation here on this one as well. I've been watching this for a while, waiting for this one to pop. It's been consolidating at the $95 level at the top of this channel. And if it can break out, it might head up to the 98s, and then it has a huge gap at the 100s-ish. CrowdStrike with the breakout already consolidating above resistance here, might make a move up to the 220s, 230s. That's another one that I'm looking at. So these are all pretty much high conviction names that you can think of. Fastly, not quite yet there, but I'll be keeping tabs on this one. Etsy, not really. Zoom, also not quite there yet. Roku was the other one. Broke out, consolidating above, might make another run to the upside. I'm invested in this one through the ARK fund as well. What else is there? McDonald's consolidating in a all-time high scenario, might make a move to the upside. Baba, gap up, holding this level pretty well. And then all on top of that, you have China reporting blockbuster 18% GDP growth, which is the first quarter, and it's a record rate. So the thesis continues to be unraveled here, as I've been mentioning about China for the longest time. And you might be wondering, like, why isn't the KWEB or anything else up on the news? Well, the thing about it is GDP numbers are something that affect macro models, and macro models take a bit of time to adjust to the environment. There is usually a lag in the markets before they start to price in future growth in this market. Now, I have been mentioning about KBAP for a long time. I told you I've been talking about ASHR as well, the mainland China ETF. You can get invested within these two ETFs for a good upside on the Chinese equities, which I have been talking about for a long time. Okay, these are both sitting at historical moving averages, 200 EMA. This one ASHR is a little different from KWEB. It's mainly mainland China stocks rather than the tech stocks. KWeb is more concentrated on the internet stocks, talking about Baidu, JD, what are the rest? Baba, right? Those Tencent, they're all in KWeb. Okay, ASHR is more of like the top 100 mainland Chinese, which is concentrated on financials within China. And so that's where I leave that with. Do what you will with the information. Remember, none of this is financial advice. We're just kind of breaking it down for you so you are better informed on the various opportunities. Remember, U.S. equities are not the only thing that you can buy, guys. Okay, there's lots of things that you can buy. All right. Apart from that, NVIDIA has been on a great run. Expect a pullback on this one. I think probably in the next 1 to 2 weeks there should be a pullback here. And then let's see. Lockheed Martin not showing any weakness yet. Really great. Approaching a booby trap level. Hit our target right now at the $400 level. Been calling this one off for a long time as well on the stream. And so all of these are now finally coming to fruition. Boeing with the continued consolidation here in this very big pennant. And I think it's going to continue to squeeze here and then have a violent breakout into the future. We'll see how much longer it can squeeze, but it's still looking very bullish here. And if it does break out, then we'll see Boeing go up to test the 280s pretty quickly. When this one moves, it moves. Lots of bullish news also came out recently. Well, not extremely bullish, but pretty bullish. So those are all ones that we'll be looking at. Okay, now, sectors that you should absolutely be thinking about right now, which I've seen lots of money pour into the past week or so, is the consumer defensive sector and then the consumer cyclical sector, okay? And consumer defensive as well as restaurants are one of the ones that I specifically like. For people asking about airlines, we actually did a bit of analysis on airlines, and I just want to keep you guys informed that airlines are not exactly the best investments right now in terms of a long hold. The reason being because majority of them have a huge dilution of shares, some of them to the tune of 60%, some of them to the tune of 50, 40%, and when shares are diluted that much to raise equity, raise money through debt to equity, that's something that is going to take a long time to cover out of that hole. And so, airlines, cruise lines, they're not attractive yet until we see pent-up demand kick in. That will start to give these a bit of a jolt for valuations. Okay, so here we go. U.S. futures gain, Thai Bevs, China. Coinbase slips with Bitcoin as stock seeks to find a level. China joins. Okay. Cool. Kathy continued to add Coinbase, which was kind of interesting. Her investment thesis was based on the fact that Coinbase has a pretty high margin for each transaction, and she sees their revenues improving by the amount of trader volume, and then on top of that, the fact that many institutions will continue to add Bitcoin to their balance sheets. That was her primary reason for investment thesis, but I'm sure that she has other things as well. She seems to think that the company is valued much higher than where it is right now. This is just information that I'm passing on to you after watching an interview. And so that's pretty important for you guys to know as well. Today we have a pretty flat open. I would say don't be surprised if we see profit taking. Or we could also see a continued melt up ahead of next week's earnings, which are going to be releasing. In terms of market participants or insider selling, NVIDIA director sold 68% of his shares, $9 million worth. It's a smart guy. He's getting rid of his shares at all-time high here, or almost all-time high. JP Morgan, lots of insider selling these past few days. Lots of them. CEO Commercial Banking, Executive Vice President, Chief Information Officer, Chief Risk Officer, General Counsel, CEO, Asset and Wealth Management. All of them let go of a pretty fair amount, almost to the tune of a couple $1 million. But they still have a pretty decent amount left over. So Mark Zuckerberg selling more of his shares. He still has a lot of shares. Mark Zuckerberg unloading another 20 million here. Let's see. CRM, co-founder and CTO. Okay. Not much else. Tesla, okay, president, heavy trucking. He sold some. Alright, not much else there. T, for allocation to Chinese equities, would you consider BABA in the same category as ASHR, KWEB, and GXC for diversification purpose? No, I don't think so. No, BABA's kind of a standalone. It's part of KWEB, but BABA's a pretty big company. It's definitely a standalone compared to those three, which are ETFs. Would you consider BABA in the same category? No, it's not. That's like an equity versus ETF situation. So, no, definitely not the same category. Okay, let's look at the pre-market movers too. Today, the Dow Jones, Apple up a little bit, Cisco, Microsoft, yada yada. Building permits news came out positive at about 17 minutes ago. Housing. What else? Okay, that's good. Morgan Stanley, PNC Financial, Bank of New York, Kansas City Southern, Citizens Financial Group, and State Street all beat earnings. We don't know exactly how it's going to be, but it'll be interesting. You mean exposure to China? Exposure to China, you mean in terms of diversification? KWEB and ASHR, GXC, those are extremely exposed. BABA is somewhat exposed, but remember it runs the risk because it's double listed. It's listed both on the U.S. Stock Exchange and then the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. BABA might have a bigger risk. That's another thing that the market's pricing into BABA right now. It's the fact that we could have regulation change for Chinese stocks, and these might get delisted. But then again, I've had this conversation with you before. Brokers, that are exchanges that decide to do that will have to give investors the option to convert their shares for the Hong Kong equivalents in the future if that happens. That's something that will be done or should be done. It's because you own the investment. They have to figure out a way to deliver on the equivalent shares. Because you're buying ADS, which are the American Depository shares, they'll have to find a way to convert your shares and give it to you. So that's another risk that you run with BABA as opposed to those ETFs. When you buy those ETFs, they're mainly safer in terms of a diversified investment. With BABA, you have a couple of other risks, which are systemic risks. Nothing here that really piques my interest. Iova, whatever this company, is up 8%. Foxcar, PPG, not sure what these are. Let's see, Splunk. Okay. Daily treasury yields down about, let's see. 8 basis points. Yeah, about 8 basis points. We're down 8 basis points from yesterday. That's interesting. Rates are finally steady. I was expecting us to go up to the 1.8, 1.9 level, but maybe this is a pullback before we get up there. Coca-Cola up 0.45%. Salesforce, S&P 500. Let's have a look at these as well. AMD up 1.55. Alexion, whatever that is. And the Nasdaq seeing AMD and the rest of these. Baidu up a little bit here. KWEB is also up on the news about GDP, and I think we'll see continued pressure here. Okay, so we have 22 people on the live stream today, and I think that all 22 of you are extremely loyal supporters of EGA. So let's have a pick for next week's ticker real quick. What do you guys want to cover next week? What's a burning company that you guys want to do? I feel like we should start picking something from the consumer defensive sector or the restaurant sector. What do you guys think? Or we could also, yeah, I mean, those two seem like great choices. The other thing we can also do is, let's see. I want to see what the sector rotations would be. So we should be looking at basic materials, energy staples. Those seem like good options. What else would you guys like? Beyond. Oh, Beyond's interesting. Net. Okay. Net. Cloudflare. Okay. Wait, did we do Cloudflare before? I feel like I wonder if we did it. Coca-Cola. I mean, not my first choice, but FCX. What is this? Freeport McMoran Energy. Okay. CellH. What is this? Celsius Holdings. Beverages. Okay. Beyond is not bad. I wouldn't mind doing Beyond. You guys want to do Beyond? Beyond sounds okay. This is consumer non-durables, diversified. I wouldn't mind doing Beyond, to be honest. X Steel. I was saying let's stick to consumer defensive and restaurants and all of these right here. So let's see. Archer Daniel, whatever this is. Cisco, Kroger Company, Kellogg's is another one. Just FYI, we saw huge flow in Kellogg's just a couple days back. 60 something dollar flow for I think September. Like there was millions of dollars poured into this one. And then the other one was General Mills. GSX. No. GSC. What was it? No. General Mills. GIS. This one. There was also a bullish flow on this. It's in a nice little pennant, by the way. If you see that right there. Looks like it's about to break out. DraftKings. We did DraftKings before, didn't we? We should do K because of the flow. Macy's. Macy's would be more of like a valuation where we want to find out whether the stock is investable. I don't know about Macy's. Okay, I like Beyond so far. Beyond has a good prospect. We can actually value it and we can find out more about it. Next Era Energy, that's another one. Utility space. We could do. We've done valuation of this. I think. Yeah, we've done it in September actually, of 2020. We did it. Sorry, December. We've done NEE before, Eric, on this stream. I wanted to pick a company that we haven't done yet. Okay, let's pick between. Let's do it this way: Beyond, Kellogg's, or FCX. Let's vote between those three. I don't know what FCX is, but it seems like you guys want me to cover it. And I wonder why it's being bought up. Energy and minerals. Interesting. It's parabolic. I mean, at this point, it's parabolic. Beyond copper mining. Okay. Well, vote between those three, guys. Beyond, FCX, and Kellogg's. Go ahead. Oh, seems like Beyond is the one that you guys want. Okay. Well, Beyond it is then. It's just a very ugly chart, though. Very ugly. Very, very ugly chart. Straight up downtrend. Yeah, it's really disgusting. I mean, there's not really a trend to be formed here, to be honest. I mean, we could say this broke out of this, falling pattern here, to be honest. It was a falling wedge of some kind. But it's looking like it's consolidating here for a possible run. If it can break out above, then we could see that run happen. For now, though, doesn't look like it. Let's see here. The supply zone is right below us, right here. That's the demand zone. And let's go and find the supply zone to the upside here. Taking the swing high to the swing low. This is the swing low from the previous wave here. The swing high is actually here. Well, let's find the retracement here. We should find a 50% retracement, so the supply is going to be right here. Here we go. So, okay. We might have a couple of stops along the way. This should be a medium zone. I would say somewhere around here. This is a dual zone as well. So between here and here. This is going to be the medium-term supply, medium-term demand right there. Yeah, looks about right. I'm going to size it up for the make it a little bigger here. Cool. Nike 140 call May 14 weekly bull flag. Is it too little time? Should I go with longer time? Let's see. You said weekly bull flag? Oh yeah, I see that. Interesting. 140 by May 14th. I think you should go for more time. You have less than a month for a swing of that size. Yeah, you should definitely go for go for more time, man. I would go like a whole month more, to be honest. CMG. Chipotle is pretty great. Yeah, I got a price upgrade as well. Yeah, Chipotle with the price upgrade and looking pretty bullish as well. The only thing about this is it's, they need to do a stock split, man. I would love to own this business, to be honest. I do like Chipotle quite a bit as a business. I wouldn't mind owning shares. I know they're slightly overvalued, but I think that they have pretty stable business. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they grow, for sure. You guys watching anything for today? Right before I head off of the stream here. Gonna go get my green tea and then start training with the team. I think we're also watching Lululemon today. Lululemon on watch here for a possible breakout. Spotify. I'm going to start building a position in MUDs. What is that? MUDs. Oh boy. It's a SPAC. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Spotify. Let's see. Haven't looked at this one in a while. Oh, this is nice. Good formation. Breakout. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I think a run up to 325 is possible here. Interesting. Daily chart looks nice too for a swing trade. I like it. I like it, Owen. Yeah, breakout at 3 or 4. Yeah, that sounds really good. Absolutely, that's good. I like it. I'll put this on my my alerts right here. If I can get an entry. Amazon kind of consolidating here too. This could make a deep run into the 4,000s if it breaks with good earnings and finds momentum. I find it very, very interesting to just see Amazon's been trading sideways for a heck of a long time if you look at this, and it's really interesting because the intrinsic valuation is so far above. It just hasn't been priced in yet, which is interesting. Intel too, with a bunch of shocks, but this one keeps moving higher. AMD with the bullish momentum today. I just don't like trading the stock. I low-key have PTSD trading this one. Everything China's been sold off lately. Everything. And I think it's a great opportunity to buy everything. Look at IQ, sold off to 15 bucks. It's crazy. Tencent, a really good company, sold off at a discount. Baba, extremely good company, sold off at a discount. CCIV sold off yesterday. DraftKings, I think up pre-market on some news, right? Yeah, this one is up pre-market. And then TSM. NetEase, CCL. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys today. Pretty short live stream. Just wanted to come on here and tell you guys something important as well. I've realized that the market conditions have kind of forced new traders to always chase yields that are bigger than, you know, a certain percentage. And everyone keeps looking at these 20%, 30% gains as something that's like, oh, you like 20%, 30% is nothing. I want to mind you that as the market continues to melt up, it's going to be more and more difficult to find opportunities that are going to pay you that much of returns. And when the market gets oversaturated like that, the first thing you have to do is adjust your expectations downward because valuations are so spiked. So make sure that you are cognizant about the fact that, you know, don't look at growing your account by a certain dollar amount or a certain percentage amount, but instead look for the opportunities, control your risk, and practice good discipline in waiting for these setups work, okay? Once they do work, then you'll have a much better time trading them. So I just wanted to pop in here and remind you guys, it's not about the percentage return. It's about your consistency and your discipline that will get you further in this market, okay? And that's what I've been doing as well, pretty much. Really trying to keep it consistent. A lot of my money is in long-term holdings, you can see. And my short-term holdings are very few, and they're speculative. And even part of my short-term holdings are like July Apple calls and like Home Depot puts and you know, some Lotto Roblox calls. Yeah, I play Lottos too, but look at the amount of risk I assign, like really small, right? 1.6%. I got one SPY put because I'm not that confident of my conviction. Uber calls, right? So yeah, keep it light, okay? And I just want to say, take care. Thank you for continuing to support this channel, guys. It truly means a lot to me. Even when you show up, there's 20-something of you. It doesn't, you know, I've never do this for the number of people here, but it's always nice to see you guys show up and support, and I really do appreciate it. So I will see you guys back on Monday. We'll continue on the tradition, and we'll do beyond. I'll try to switch things around next week and maybe come up with some other genius things that I can do to make this stream a little more lively. And yeah, cool. Well, you guys have a great weekend. Love you all. Thank you. I appreciate you all for you know, being a part of this channel, and take care. Have a good weekend. Peace out, and ding ding ding.